celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewelry you come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout all over the nation. We're breaking out with a new creation.
Charles Locario Sewing Factory has been operating in Dangriga for the past few years. Our Belize Watch team stopped by to find out more about the factory and the school that accompanies the institution. We will meet the manager, public relations officer, and a couple of the students after we hear from our partners. Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, Shell Belize, the Barry, and the National Gas Company.
Shell V-Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction-reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell. Since 2008, the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust has created opportunities for Belizeans to develop themselves and their communities. The Trust employs tools that are intuitive, collaborative, and accessible so that every Belizean is empowered to achieve their full potential. Over 200,000 Belizeans have been impacted because of our various initiatives. The Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, empowering Belizeans of today to create the Belize of tomorrow.
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange Rock, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Be less.
I remember the days when trucks used to line up at the Guatemala border, and we could have only watch as they come in loaded with LPG and then left with Belizean dollars. Things changed since, because the Belizeans they drive now, that we have the jobs, and are definitely proud to be able to keep me dollars home. Either Elvis Roaches, and either one of the Belizean drivers for the National Gas Company. I haul butane from the new state-of-the-art terminal to the port of Big Creek. The hard work, but at the end of the day, I go home to my family and provide for them. Thanks to NGC, I did do my lead part to build my country. We the all Belizeans on this team, and we're proud to work hard to deliver one product will last longer and give you more value for money. I proud to work at NGC, and for you we Belizean people.
The National Gas Company Belize Limited, fueling Belize forward.
It don't matter what part of the jewelry you come from.
Well, we're inside the Charles Locario Sewing Factory here in Dangriga. And Kylie, my granddaughter, is here with me. And also I have Miss Mercy Palacio, who is the manager. Are you the manager, Miss Mercy? I like the title, I don't know why I said the wrong title. Miss Mercy Palacio, who is the manager of the sewing factory. And school. Okay, so it's a factory and a school. Okay, and you are Mr. Parshu.
Yes,
Peter Parshu.
Peter Parshu, public relations of the school and factory.
It's a school and a factory.
Yeah. The school precedes the factory because without learning the skills of sewing, you can't go sew. So once you don't learn all the skills from the school, then you get promoted to the factory. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go right to the very beginning. I have my granddaughter Kylie here with me, so let me introduce her. Kylie Castillo Villanueva. And so she's accompanying me on my shows, Belize Watch shows, you know. So let's, like I said, go to the beginning. How did all this get started? Let's start. How did the school get started?
This initiative was started by a very ambitious man who has great concern in the betterment of women in the community. And this person is none other than Robert Mariano,
The present mayor.
present mayor. But it started off when he was Deputy Commissioner of Police in Belize City, where he started 5 years ago a cohort of seamstresses. And he retired and came to Dangriga, and he started with the first cohort. That was about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Because he saw there was a need for empowerment. People need to learn skills, they need to make money. And employment was not as forthcoming as expected. So this first cohort was about, how many people, Marcy? About 15 ladies. And they graduated and they moved on. And then the second cohort, which I joined, I was employed at that time. And I attended classes on Saturdays, even though there was on Wednesdays as well. But due to my employment, I couldn't do it during the week. And similarly with some of the other students, because of employment, they only attended classes on Saturdays, 9 to 12 for 3 hours. Wednesdays, a few people did. But we kept everything together, and that cohort graduated. And the most recent cohort just started about 3 weeks to a month ago. And they now are the ones who will demonstrate some of the things that they have learned to Belize Watch.
No. What made you become interested in sewing?
I knew how to sew.
You knew before?
I knew before how to sew. I can repair different kind of clothing. However, cutting was an issue. And sometimes you need the formal training to understand the dynamics of putting the package together. So just the knowledge is not good enough, and you want to have the correct principles in putting this garment together. So that was what made me interested in joining the group to sew.
Okay. And Ms. Mercy, your connection with the group, how did you get in touch with Mr. Mariano?
Well, we had a lady that was recruiting persons for him, for the school before he started. And she called around at different offices. And so I told her, okay, I was interested, same like Pete. I knew how to sew. If you cut something for me and give me, I can put it together, but I didn't know how to cut.
Oh, okay.
So then I said I will attend this school so I could learn how to cut. And I did. I was in there from the beginning. The first day he started, I was there. That was 9th of March, I think, 2018. He started. And we had about 25 students. At the end, 15 graduated because some started dropping out. But it's a nice class, nice school. We enjoy ourselves with our now mayor, because at that time, like Mr. Parchu said, he was deputy commissioner now when he started this this school. And his concern was the same concern of some of others. And you find even people that were working, attended the school too, so that they can learn. Some of them wanted to be the one to sew their own clothes, sew their own uniform. With school teachers and with public officers, they usually use uniform. Most of them use uniform, so they wanted to sew their own attire. So they attended and they enjoyed it, and they learned a lot too. And they are now, some of them are now, they don't do it for a living or for business, but they do it for themselves now. But what we want now with this cohort, that they learn to do it and do it for business, that they can help themselves and revolve some funds, if you're not, whether you're working or not, to help yourself, to add, because, every little penny counts now, so if they can do that. So that's what we're asking them, we're egging them on to do, that they do something with it at the end of the day after learning from the school, that they start to either sew for somebody, put out their sign for their house, I could sew a uniform, so they sew for themselves, and do repairs before they start sewing, because sometimes The other day, I got a repair. Somebody to one of my daughters asked me to repair a pants for her, so I did. First time I did it, but I did. So I told her, I said, "Girl, you need to buy 2 more pants that can't fit you, so I can repair." She said, you know, because I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that.
Benefited you tremendously as a person as well.
Yes,
right?
yes, and it makes you feel good. When every morning I get ready to come to the factory. And I like when the students, they come, because we tell them from school to practice. You cannot practice at school because our classes are held at the Methodist school. Because for space, no? So you cannot practice there. So we ask them to come this side and practice like whatever new they learned. They did pants, they did skirt. We tell them you come this side and you practice some more, practice, because like the saying goes, practice makes perfect, right? So that's what some of them do. We had students. We have Miss Helen. She was from Independent, but she now lives in Dangriga. We have students from Independent. We had students from Hopkins at one spell, and they travel and come to the school, you know. Yeah. And that, I think Mr. Mariano feels good about that when he sees people from a distance and still come. We had a lady from 18 miles in the cohort before this, and she used to come every Saturday, and even on Wednesdays she used to come. And when we didn't have enough machines, she brought her machine with her. Excellent. Yes, some of them used to bring their machines. But now we can tell them that they can come. They don't have to back both machine again because we have machines. You have
machines, so you have enough machines?
To help. Yeah.
How much machines you got now?
Right now we have 28 machines. At the school we have 15 of them, and we have 13 at school and 15 here at the factory, so that's 28 of them.
And you say classes are held at the Holy Ghost, at the Methodist primary school, and it's held twice a week, I think I heard once now. So you changed
on. School reopened, we only could do it on Saturdays, because on Wednesday, we don't have, it was at Wednesday 2 to 5.
So during COVID, it was twice a week. Yes, and now it's once a week because the classrooms are being used.
Only on Saturday 9 to 12 we do it, yes. We had one break. We usually take a break for the Easter, but summer, right through summer, we don't stop.
Okay, so...
The youngest member of the cohort is 10 years old. She started 9. Now initially we had one little girl, and now we have 2 of them.
So you don't really set an age limit as to who can apply. Once you're willing to learn, it doesn't matter what age group you're at, you will be accepted.
With doing it over and over again, or having this pleasure of seeing your sewing being ripped, for you to do it again.
So that's the way you do it. If you sew something and not good, then you rip it.
Mr. Martel tells you rip it, and if you don't, sometimes the girl will, I'll rip it myself, Mr. Martel. He don't ready for her to rip it, but we enjoy that because then. It teaches perfection and finesse, you know. If you don't rip it, I tell you, don't come with threads hanging up. You need to cut all of your threads before you bring your sewing to him to check it, you know.
So Mr. Mariano himself gave the course. He's the instructor. Yeah, he's the instructor. So he instructed both of you, basically.
Exactly, he did. And even though he's the mayor now, he still finds time every Saturday to attend classes. Okay. And at times, we have one in Punta Gorda. At times he left from there, like 11, and say, I'm going to Punta Gorda because they do their one in the afternoon.
Yeah, I remember talking to him. He told me that this sewing was a passion of his, that you know, and he likes to empower people through sewing. That's what he told me.
And this, like I tell you, this will help empower not only females but the male too. Once they come, and we want to urge the young people to come and learn something, because what I notice is that a lot of people, when they graduate, they expect government to give them a job. Government cannot employ the thousands and thousands that are graduating. So if you could create your own employment, it will be best for you. Another thing, I think what he thinks about, growing up, every home here had a sewing machine. Everybody could at least patch. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the foot and the hand one.
Now the whole hand sewing machine as well, right?
And now you have the one. You just press the pedal and then they go. Electric. Yeah. So we urge people to come. That if you cannot find a job, you create your own employment, because you don't have to sew clothing. You don't have to sew. You could do hat, because we teach them hat too. Different things we teach, the pillowcase you could do, and do even pillows you can sew and sell. Yeah. Because my daughter bought some pillows from a young lady. Others can do that, you know. So if they come and learn to sew, because like some of them when they come to the class, they know nothing about sewing machine, nothing about sewing. And by the time they left that day, they know to string the machine, they know the parts of a machine. Okay. By the time the first day, they learn about the machine.
So Peter, what was the first thing that you saw that you can remember as part of the service school?
The first thing I sewed was a short pants, elastic waist. Then we graduated to shorts with zip, followed by shorts with side pockets, then rear pockets. Okay. And the rear pockets is the challenging one for most people.
And why is it challenging? Because I would think that the back pocket's easier since it's just the other part. So could you explain why back pocket's harder than the side?
The back pockets, while the distances between the pockets must be identical and balance the level, and it must be the same distance from the seam from the waistband. And sometimes you just get it wrong.
And so when you get it wrong, then they rip it out and tell you do it over again. Yes. What about you, Ms. West? What was your first?
The same thing, they pants with elastic waist.
That's his first. Elastic seems to be the first.
That's the first thing Mr. Mariano starts with, pants with elastic waist.
Okay, so that's basically a short pants with an elastic band that would tighten around you, like a boxer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in terms of price, because this sounds very interesting, but like, what's the cost of being in the school?
The cost initially is you need to bring your appliance, your measuring tape, your scissors, and any other thing like a square, your ruler. You would use them, but not necessarily immediately. And your chalk to mark tailor's chalk.
And like now too, that we don't have sponsors as like that. We ask students to bring, when they are sewing the pants with elastic weights, they'll have to bring their elastic and the zip. But when we have somebody who sponsors, so then we have the zip, because we give you the cloth. Cloth is no problem. We give the cloth, but the elastic and the zip will ask. And we at school, the teachers, when we have the elastic and we have the zip, we give the students them too. You know.
And I'm sure they have to bring their willingness to learn and their drive to keep going.
And so again, right. That must be quite frustrating, not so?
Initially, it is frustrating. However, when you finish the product after 2 or 3 rips, and you notice the progression in how it looks, then you feel very comforting in, boy, it wasn't bad all along. I really made badly off, because look at it now, it's much better, much better than before.
Okay.
And how long does the classes last for, like months or like?
5 months, about 5 months, because this course is done next month. Then we'll start again in July. Yeah.
That sounds interesting, and I notice you have some ladies here as well, who you'll introduce us to as we go on. They are at various stages, or they all graduated?
No, Kadisha, she'll be the one that cut. She graduated already, but the next two they are present students. Okay. Lara and Helen are students presently.
So in the process where they will get their work ripped up and have to have the patience to do it all over again, no? Yes. What if you which one? Kadisha?
Kadisha.
So Kadisha, you got your short pants ripped up when you sewed it the first time, or was it done well?
They ripped a few times.
Few times? Wow. How you felt when you tear up your short pants until you do it over again?
Not too bad, because I had experience in a sewing before, but I still made a mistake.
What's that mistake? Which one of the mistakes you did make?
So I just never made it so too straight and accurate as well Mr. Marmer want. But I know I made it do very well.
Where were you first exposed to sewing? You say you was sewing before you started to go to Mr. Mariano's school?
At home, because my granny used to sew and my auntie.
And you like sewing also?
Yes, sir.
Don't tell me you measure up and things like that. Right? You like measuring cloth and so?
Yes, sir, but I still dey make mistake.
Still make mistake? Well,
You know the measurement as yet, but I know if you do.
but I'll tell you a secret, right? If we don't make mistake, we don't learn.
Yes, sir, I know.
All right, so all of us make mistake in learning. I know personally I've made a whole lot of mistakes in learning depending. I never learned sewing though, you know, so I don't know nothing much about sewing, right? And so so you do your measuring and so on, and the young lady next to you, that's on the Dodgers shirt, you are...
Laura Andrews.
Laura, you're from Dangriga, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Dangriga. Well, I don't have to be from Dangriga, no? Do you know? You're from Mango Creek? All right. That's not too far. Right?
Not quite far, yes.
Yes. But you are from Dangriga or from Mango
No,
Creek?
I'm
too?
originally from City River Village.
City River?
Yes.
Not far neither. When you think about it, you know, this whole coastline is a beautiful coastline, you know. You go to Dangriga, then from Dangriga, you pass the Commerce Bight Pier, then you pass Hopkins, and then after you pass Hopkins, you move on down the coastline to City, right? And that's where you are, right, at City. And then you are at Mango Creek. And so you are right behind Placencia, right? Right behind the lagoon. So Placencia is in the front of the lagoon, and you're at the back of the lagoon, and City is just before you reach Placencia. So it's all in a little, in the Sand Creek district, right? Down in Sand Creek. Now, what made you decide to come to Dangriga to learn to sew?
Well, I live here right now, currently, right? So when I heard about the sewing classes on Facebook when Mr. Mariano was doing the live, and then I said I wanted to join, and a friend of mine, she wanted me to join the year before, but then I couldn't make it, right? So when I heard the opportunity to come this year, I said, you know what, I'll do it. And my family and friends, they encouraged me to do it. And when I joined the sewing classes, they let us for the starters, we did the zigzag, the straight line, and how to use the sewing machine. So we from there, I'm a fast learner, so I grasped the
You grasp them
the
very
concept.
easily.
Sorry, yes, and then I took off.
Yeah.
So is sewing like a long time passion, or is that like a recent when your friend mentioned it to you?
Well, it's recent because when I jump behind the sewing machine, I fall in love with it, honestly. And I sew, when I start, I go to 3 o'clock in the morning, I bleach because I have the passion for it, and I do my stuff. And when I sew, if it's a skirt, I want to see it finish, right? And I'm eager to see my outcome from whatever I'm sewing.
How well do you get along in school? Did you get along in school? Did you get frustrated when they cut up your try to do things over?
Well, actually, when one time Mr. Mar ripped my pants that I sewed, and if I see that it's not something pleasing, and if Mr. Mar won't approve of it, I rip it myself. I rip it myself because I don't want him to rip it again and make me an example of the class, right?
Okay, so you don't take no chance.
No, I don't.
All right. And who's your friend over here? You have one more.
Helen Canelo.
Helen Canelo from Mango Creek. You live in Mango Creek or in Dangriga?
I live in Mango Creek, but I have like 3 weeks. I moved to Dangriga due to where I find a job up here. Okay. And I did find a job because I am really interested in sewing. So instead of the back and forth, I did one combination, job plus the schooling. Yes.
Going to school. Yes. Yeah, but did you had any sewing experience before in Mango Creek?
Yes, I did. When I was about 13, 14, they had a group of persons that went to Independence High that taught us how to make purse, things, pocket holders and phone holders. So when I did it, I really like it. I really feel like that's my thing. And back then, my mom do sewing home, but she don't have an educational like this, the certificate for sewing. So I just thought that I wanted to do it myself and try to go to an institution to get an certificate, but it was too costly. So when I first heard about it, I called right away, I put down my name, and I dedicate myself to come every week.
My granddaughter is here with me. Any questions from your granddaughter?
No, not inherently, but I imagine that it takes a lot of work and hard to produce that you have to do.
Yes, sewing is hard work, and not really hard work, because if you love it, it won't be hard work. Honestly, if you have the passion, it won't be hard work. You won't feel it as a burden to you.
Okay, what I'd like to ask you ladies to do a little later is to take her through the paces of putting something together. You could do that, something that you have learned maybe in school, so we can see how you do it. So you turn teachers. I don't think she know anything about sewing. I've never seen my granddaughter sewing. So do you know anything about sewing?
Well, I kind of remember vaguely because I had a sewing machine because I wanted to get into it, and then I was like, this is too hard. So I kind of gave it up. So I think I remember how to like thread and whatnot, but other than that, no. That's about it.
Have a goal, like you have to have a goal, right? If you're like sewing something, okay. If you're sewing a purse, for example, like okay, you draw out the purse, you do a sketch, and you whatever design you want, and you stick to that goal. So when you have that, when you finish your product, you're satisfied with what you sketched out.
Yes. I think I didn't come to a school to learn, so I was kind of like guessing, is this correct? Am I leveling it right? So I think this is a very good thing to do and a very nice initiative. So yeah.
That's the same way I felt when I was home trying to do my own stuff. I thought I was doing it wrong. I don't know. So now that I'm here, I realize that I was doing it all backwards. Now I know the real step and the procedure how to do it. It's far easier than what I was trying to do home. So I know that it's really easy to make a pants, something that we wear every day, not knowing that it takes a lot of time to measure, to cut, and to put it together.
A couple of the students will showcase their talents after we hear from our partners.
The B&E Charitable Trust, working in the development of Belize by inspiring young Belizean entrepreneurs to dream and to dream big. The National Gas Company, fueling Belize forward. The National Gas Company makes sure that you not only have a guaranteed supply of gas for every household need, but also that it is of the highest quality always. Shell Belize has been fueling Belize for many, many years, and they have done so reliably and with a lot of dependability. And the Barry stores in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio, Orange Walk, and San Pedro, offering you much more for much less. Shell V-Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction-reducing molecules. Go well! Go Shell! Since 2008, the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust has created opportunities for Belizeans to develop themselves and their communities. The Trust employs tools that are intuitive, collaborative, and accessible so that every Belizean is empowered to achieve their full potential. Over 200,000 Belizeans have been impacted because of our various initiatives. The Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, empowering Belizeans of today to create the Belize of tomorrow.
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange Walk, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Be less.
I remember the days when trucks used to line up at the Guatemala border, and we could have only watch as they come in loaded with LPG, and then left with Belizean dollars. Things changed since. Because the Belizeans, they drive now. That we have the jobs. And I'm definitely proud to be able to keep my dollars home. Either Elvis Roaches and either one of the Belizean drivers for the National Gas Company. I haul butane from the new state-of-the-art terminal to the port of Big Creek. The hard work, but at the end of the day, I go home to my family and provide for them. Thanks to NGC, I did do my leap part to build my country. We the all Belizeans on this team, and we're proud to work hard to deliver one product will last longer and give you more value for money. I proud to work at NGC, and for you we Belizean people.
The National Gas Company Belize Limited, fueling Belize forward.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from.
So, you not only make clothes though, you also make bags and different sort of stuff, right? Blouses, well, blouses are clothes, but hats, what else? Pillowcases. You sew anything basically.
We sew shoe organizer, the thing that you put on the wall to put place your shoes. Yeah, I made one already on my own. I haven't come to school, but I was practicing home. I did it. I made phone cases, bags, but that was all on my own. Now that I'm here, I am getting better training, so I guess I can do it more better.
And Ms. Mercer tell me that there's no charge basically for your training, right? There's
no charge at all. All you need to get is your measuring tape, your scissors, and your corrector, because our teacher, he loves to rip our class, so we need to get our corrector.
So what we're doing at this table now?
We are cutting a skirt, measuring a skirt, so I can put it together.
Okay. And the skirt, any specific size skirt, or just
we already have a size that we use.
Size that you want to use.
Yes.
Okay. And you're going to do what? You're going to sew it?
I gotta sew it, yes, sir.
And the expert here, the measurements will measure it out for you, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you will sew it for us.
Yes.
So you want to see this skirt, this cloth transformed into a skirt?
It will. Magically, it will.
All right. So let's allow her to do her markings and her cutting. And then we look at this, how you put it together.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You da you and me. But guess what?
Did you know how to sew a skirt? Remind me if you knew how to sew a skirt before you started school.
I did know how to sew a skirt, but I was doing it wrong all the time.
What were you doing that was wrong?
The skirt is made by 4 parts, actually 5 parts because it has its waistband. And I did only one measurement on myself and cut one long cloth and sew it together. And that was wrong.
Okay.
The professional way is to do it in 4 parts. You put them together and it comes to a skirt, included the waistband, then that will be 5 parts.
But then that one part skirt that you did for yourself, only you use it, right?
Only me use it, so I use my mistakes.
You used your mistakes. But did you get any criticism? Did anybody ever criticize your skirt while you were using it?
I get good criticism from it, yes, but I know now that I was doing it bad, so I think that doing it that way, it looked good, but it's just not.
Original idea?
It's just from back of my head. It's not the real way how to do it.
The professional way of doing it, right? Because sometimes I see some things are sewn and you see it on TV, and you wonder who sewed that kind of thing there. But
that is so true. Yeah. I tried a lot on YouTube to see how to follow up, and I just it's really hard for me to follow up with YouTube because it's so many different ways to do it, and you to follow up to a program, it's really hard. They don't really explain themselves, as in when you do it physically. You can learn and have much practice on it.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout.
Okay, so the skirt that we're looking at being cut is now finished, at least where the cutting is concerned. And the sewing part of it is what you're going to do, right? All right. So, you explain to me, please, how you start, what you pick putting in the machine, and what have you.
Okay. There are 4 pieces of cloth. These are the biggest one is the back of the skirt, and this is the front of the skirt. The line that has the marking is the inside of the skirt, and the one that doesn't have is the outside of the skirt. Now, this is the front of the skirt. I will sew it straight down the middle, the straight side, so I can attach the 2 sides together to make the front. So here we go.
And when you were doing this on your own, you were to, how you would have done, you said you would have done one cut, one piece of cloth and wrap it around your right hand.
And I will just sew the back straight down in the middle, and that was totally wrong. Yes. Okay. Somebody is meeting. I have to string my machine because I have already did it, but it seems that it's burst. So when we start a little bit, and then we carry back the machine so it can hold very good. Don't lose from the top. Then we carry it back. Then you go all the way down with a straight sewing.
You gotta keep the cloth very much in line, right?
Yes, sir. Keep it straight.
Otherwise, it will rip again.
Otherwise, Mr. Mar will rip it heartlessly on me, so. And this is the front of the skirt. When we wear a skirt, see, it's shaped out as a skirt already.
Okay.
See, this is what we put on the front, and there is the skirt. Okay. Now we will attach the back to each end, one here and one here, to make it the big round cloth like what I did, my mistake, okay? So we make sure that the inside stays in the inside. We have a cut at the end that indicates where we should sew. So this side, I will attach it here, like this. My line will be outside because this will be outside of my skirt. Same procedure, I goes and I start and then curl back my stitch a little bit so it can hold perfectly and tight.
It don't matter what part of the jewelry come from. You and
Always make sure your thread is in. Sometimes it tends to come out. Okay. Like mine.
The second time it come out.
Yes.
What I like about it is that before you all came to school, you had an idea of sewing, but it was not an idea that would have made you any money. Now you're learning to sew, and you can eventually end up being little entrepreneurs on your own.
Yes, sir. Okay, we sew down a straight line again. I always make sure the cloths are together. Now here I am done almost halfway with the skirt. It will be my next part is to add on this next piece to complete the round of the skirt. I always ensure that the outside is facing upwards because it will go inside when I close in the skirt.
Making a skirt like this, you could do several a day, right?
Yes, I do. I can. Now here I have the long measurement that I did wrongly. This is what I should.
You would have
should
used one piece of cloth
yes,
like that.
this would be one big cloth without attaching them together.
Okay.
Now this little sign that we have here is what we call a fish, is what we put on the back of the skirt. So it can be, I think it's just to make, we put it to make it give us the shape of the skirt. Is almost complete. Now that I will take the measurement of the hip to whatever person we are doing it. The measurement of the hip will be 24. So we will do 24. We'll divide it in half because it will be in two. This is how the seamstress, divide in half. And we measure 12. Because we'll put it together and we measure it 12. So I mark where 12 is. If you can see, I mark where 12 is and I sew straight down. That will be the size of the hip, so this will not be included. Here I should not sew it backwards on the beginning because I will insert my zip here, so I will still have to lose this sewing, and I will not sew all the way down because the skirt will have a split at the back, so I'll just be halfway. Now here we have a skirt for a small someone. The waistband is missing.
Okay.
Now I will put in my zip. I will put on my zip. Now here I have on the zipper already, so we make sure it's in the right spot. We take our ripper and we rip open the same sewing that I've already did to attach the skirt to make it round, so the zip can show. Always make sure you have a clean and tidy cloth, because Mr. Mar will say you have a dirty cloth. You and your dirty cloth, move in front of me, yes.
And why is it that you have to, why did you sew that part in and then have to like rip it out?
Because this is just to make the waistband is the same waist that you would measure. So if you measure it 20 or 24, it will not move in place when you put the zip in. But if you don't sew it in and try to put the zip in without sew it in close, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can make it high and low. So that's the reason why we sew it in and then cut it open afterwards. Then here we have already our skirt with zip on. See? Here. All that left is to put on the waistband. This is what we call a waistband. Well, this time they give me two waistbands, so I will combine two of them together and make it in one. So I will put on the waistband and you will see how it fully look like a skirt. Then I will finish the minors to make it more. I will do a small sewing on the waistband, just one straight sewing down. I'm sewing one edge up. This is for when we put on the waistband. This will be We'll call it the beauty of the skirt. So we don't have to do an outside sewing in the outside part of the skirt. I always try to sew straight. Now it's ready to go on the skirt.
That's the button.
This is the waistband. So we always make sure the part that we sew up is pointing up to facing me the seamstress. And then I will sew it around the part that is not sewn. I will sew it around the waistband through the outside part. Sorry, the inside part. So then when you sew this, we always have to make sure that both cloth are equal, and to always take your time when you sew this part. This part is really challenging. This was one of the challenging part when I start. So I always try to take my time here. Now here we do have a waistband on the skirt. So this zip is not necessary now. It is not used for nothing. We can take it off.
So the waistband is considered the beautiful part of the skirt?
I just say the part that we sew here, this part is the part that we use, because when we bend it, we don't have to sew over it anymore. This will be covering all our mistakes that we do here. So this is what the waistband do. The waistband hide these parts. So when we're done with the skirt, it will just look like a just a random skirt that doesn't have anything attached together. Now I have on the waistband. See, it's not completed. The waistband is to hide all these attachments we have on the top of the waist. So I will sew it in together. Then I will make sure this part is covered, everything there, so it can look neat, and we don't have to make the attachment on the top show, because as you can see, it's really disturbing to see all of those. And here you have the skirt. Almost completed, because I have to do the hemming on the bottom so the threadings can stop, and then the skirt will be fully completed.
So what are you doing now?
This part that I am sewing is the part to hold the split, so when the woman's open their legs to walk, the split doesn't go all the way up. So it's to secure the split, so it doesn't go all the way up and show whatever we have underneath the skirt. So I am ensuring the split so it can stay where it is when we open our legs to walk or to sit or to do anything. Okay, here I have completed my skirt. Always make sure you have a clean skirt when you carry it to Mr. Mar, because he will tell us that the skirt is dirty, and that is not what he wants. Five parts put together, make one skirt. 5 parts put together, make one skirt. It has splits. It is made for the skirts to make it look neat.
It don't matter what part of the jewelry come from. You that you, and me that me.
We will continue with our visit to the Charles Locario Sewing Factory in Dangriga after we hear from our partners, Shell Belize, the Barry, the National Gas Company, and Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust.
Shell V-Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction-reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell. Since 2008, the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust has created opportunities for Belizeans to develop themselves and their communities. The trust employs tools that are intuitive, collaborative, and accessible so that every Belizean is empowered to achieve their full potential. Over 200,000 Belizeans have been impacted because of our various initiatives. The Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, empowering Belizeans of today to create the Belize of tomorrow.
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, Sa Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Be less.
I remember the days when trucks used to line up at the Guatemala border, and we could have only watch as they come in loaded with LPG and then left with Belizean dollars. Things changed since, because the Belizeans they drive now, that we have the jobs, and are definitely proud to be able to keep me dollars home. Either Elvis Roaches, and either one of the Belizean drivers for the National Gas Company. I haul butane from the new state-of-the-art terminal at the port of Big Creek. The hard work, but at the end of the day, I go home to my family and provide for them. Thanks to NGC, I did do my lead part to build my country. We the all Belizeans on this team, and we're proud to work hard to deliver one product will last longer and give you more value for money. I proud to work at NGC, and for you we Belizean people.
The National Gas Company Belize Limited, fueling Belize forward.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from.
Let's look at this pants and skirt that Ms. Kadisha will cut for us. Ms. Kadisha, just explain what you're doing, no? And so Kylie could learn. Come on, Kylie.
You have two imaginary lines. Like this one are for the waist, and this one are for where you get the hip measurements from and the length.
So you have to measure somebody first. You have to measure somebody first, right? So who will measure?
Measurement already.
You have a measurement already.
Now we try to use small measurement that use a lot of cloth, no? Yeah, so it's
okay.
So from this top imaginary line, the length is 9 inches. There, 9 inches. Then the waist at 24 inches divided by 4, it'll be 6 inches. Okay, so now we measure from this end. Right, 6 inches. Yeah, add 2 inches now for the zipper fly.
The zipper too?
Yeah. The hip 30 inches. It's 7 inches and I divide by 4. 7.6. Yeah. I come down.
And how do you determine what to divide by?
Because the your waist and hip divide by 4. Because I have 4 pieces. When I'm finished joining it, I give you the shape of the pants.
Okay. I'm going to do 2. Front, back, done.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You that you and me that me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout.
the hip is measured twice.
Okay.
The first time from the waist down, it shows you where the hip will land.
Okay.
And then across to get the crotch.
Okay. This is a pants you're making here. So you're making a short pants here? And for a little boy? Or for somebody that's very small? Okay. Let's allow you to do your markup and cut up, and then we see how it look like.
Then the hip, this is the hip line.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. 7 to
Oh, yeah,
6.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
The biggest, the
this
widest
part
part
of your
of
book.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Then 7.
It don't matter what part of the jewelry come from. You that you and me that me.
2 inches. So if we get the crotch.
See what I mean? Jump and shout all over the nation. We're breaking out with a new creation. It's been too long, we've got to unite now. Time and space can't keep us apart right now. Unity, yes, you better know. It's the only way to go. We stay apart, then we'll have to fall. Count on you, count on one and all. It's not for you, not for me, it's not for we. It's not for you, not for me, it's not for we. Love and respect one another. Fellow man, that is your brother, yeah. Share the love.
You measure 1.5 inches, right, mister?
Why 1.5 inches?
Because your back higher than the front.
Oh, so you have to go 1.5 inches higher than the front. The back has to be 1.5 inches higher than the front. Okay. Now I understand why the back higher than the front.
When you add the crotch, now for this is for the back.
Okay.
So add 2 inches wider than the front.
It don't matter what part of the jewelry come from. You that you and me that me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout all over the nation. We're breaking out with a new creation. It's been too long, we've got to unite now. Time and space can't keep us apart right now. Unity, yes, you better know. It's the only way to go. We stay apart, then we'll have to fall. Count on you, count on one and all.
So you're doing something very technical there. Before you went to this school, Mr. Mariano's school, did you know to do it as technically as that?
No, sir. And I usually use pattern. Just get the pattern and put it on, just cut it out. But now I learned how to measure and cut.
Anything you like to do, you could do. Any size, anything, you can do it on your own. Okay.
It don't matter what part of the jewelry come from. You that you and me that me. But guess what? All are we the one.
Okay, so you have already cut the cloth for the pants that Chris is going to use. All right? What do we do next?
Lara, so they put the pants together.
Lara.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Lara, you are here, understand you want to put the pants together. So let's see you put this pants together, Lara. I noticed while our friend over there, Helen, was making her skirt. She did a very good job at the skirt, by the way. I think she did a wonderful job doing that skirt. I sat down and I was looking on. Kylie was, of course, looking on more attentively, close up, more on the close-up side. But she's here with Miss Tillet, you know, my granddaughter, Kylie. So we're putting together the pants. So where are you at with this pants?
Okay, where I'm right now, I already put on the zip and the attach the side, right? I already did the fish, and now currently I will start with the crotch. I will sew the crotch for this pants.
Let's establish something here. It's a female pants, right? It's a pants for a female or for a male?
A female.
Female, okay.
I have to watch myself. I watch myself because, you know, I have to see the placement of the zip.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I see the way it looks. I was wondering. Okay. So it's a female pants that you're doing. Okay. Let's establish that. Well, continue. And then I want her to learn to say I'll send her to school.
Okay. So I already placed the zip and now I'll do the crotch, right? Let me turn on the sewing machine.
Well, I take work on pants.
Honestly, I can't really tell because...
So it depends then.
Depends, yeah, the feeling, because then if you make a mistake, you have to rip, and, you know, sometimes you give the... If you don't, like if you forget the measurement, or sometimes, you know, you make mistakes and then everything takes time. So when you're deciding to sew something, we don't procrastinate. We, you know,
work hard.
Yes, we work hard, and we don't put ourselves at a limit. Like say we say 2 hours. No, we don't do that. We, you know, give it an extra half an hour. So no, I'll do the back of the pants. Okay. So I'll sew down and I will stop about right here.
And everything has to be leveled and make sure it's set correctly?
Yes, line up, yes.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout all over the nation. We're breaking out with a new creation.
Well, ladies, I want to thank you so much for your kind attention, for having us here, and for teaching us a bit about what you do. Right, and let me congratulate you for the wonderful work you're doing. I learned a bit about sewing, a little bit. I have never, I'm trying to think if I've ever sat down and done a show where I've seen finished work and have had ideas of how it's done, but I'm wondering if we have done a show with the whole process. But in case we have or have not, I must say that I enjoyed being here with you all, and I want to thank you for your kind attention. Now, this institution that Mayor Mariano has set up, again remind us how can young ladies become a part of it, because it's free.
Not only young ladies, youth. Young lady and
so
young men, men and women. But we really urge the youth, the children, the young students, you know, to come and join and learn something for themselves. At the end of the day, if they don't get a job from government or from any private firm, they can create their own employment and make their own funds, you know, that they don't have to get frustrated and quarrel or fight. And, you know, because sometimes frustration make we do all kind of things.
Course,
so. To get to our school, to get to us, you call me, Mercy Palacio, at 615-6716, or Mr. Mariano at 610-8758. And any one of us you call, we'll write down your name, and then we'll give you what you should bring. As a matter of fact, you can bring, when you come, you'll bring along a tape measure and a scissors. That's all you'll bring. We provide everything else. The course is free of cost. You pay nothing. So hence we are urging people to come in and join with us and learn, you know, that they can help themselves later on, help their family, their children, their grandchildren, their neighbors, their friends. They'll be, and they'll be proud and happy at the end of the day. Like we are right now, we are happy and proud of what we've learned.
Yeah.
And the new students are in July?
Yes, we want to do an intake in July. In July, we want to do an intake in July.
In July, next intake in July. All right. And so,
Our class is on Saturday, 9 to 12 at the Methodist School. Mm-hmm.
now let me ask Kadisha. Kadisha, what has this done to you? I know you alluded to it before, but in closing, I want to ask you to speak to other young people your age and tell them what this has done to your life, learning to sew and to sew properly. At no cost too, financially.
With sewing, since coming to the sewing class, I start to sew my own pants and my kids' their pants, and I repair for others. And I also do hair bonnet on my own.
So you have been able to make a sort of living, living off of what you have learned here.
Yes, sir, because then after I sew the bonnet, I sell it, and I do purse and bag, and I sell it too.
Okay. Well, thank you so much and all the very best. I noticed you were very diligent at doing the measurements. It seemed like you like to do measurements, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much, and I want to thank you too, ma'am, for being so kind to us. I don't know if Granddaughter has a final question of her own or some things she wants to comment.
No, but I enjoyed this experience and I had a wonderful time with you ladies.
We did enjoy our time with you, Kaylee and Chief and Ava and Chris. We enjoyed our time with you, and we're glad that you could come to Dangriga, visit us here in Dangriga to showcase what we're doing here. And because it's something positive from Dangriga, so we're glad that you came, and we wish you could come back, maybe next time at the school, or that would be on a Saturday.
Okay, I would like to, maybe when you have your classes one of these days, we could maybe come and...
For me, this is good exposure for this class, for the school and the factory. And we are also planning to get our own building. We have been gifted a piece of land. So we are planning to get our own building that eventually we move from here. But before the end of the year, we should move from here and go in our own building.
Do you see yourself having a vision maybe of the young ladies that have been trained by yourselves, by the school, coming together in a sort of factory style and manufacturing different things, especially for import substitution?
Yes, that is our plan, that the students from the school, that we'll be able to hire them at the factory, that we can, so that they can sew different, not only clothing, as I said, not clothing, but different things that we can either export or even take orders from different people, from firms and businesses, maybe uniforms, maybe their aprons, maybe their curtains, their tablecloths and things of that sort. So that is what we are aiming for, that the students from the school be hired at this factory to produce, be the one to produce different things for the community and the country at large, on a whole.
Sounds good. It's all a labor of love, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You have to love what you're doing and love people and so on. And so we are happy that we are able to talk to you and to get to know the work that you're doing and the assistance that these ladies are getting in learning at no cost except for some ruler or tape measure or something like that. They're learning a skill, and I am really impressed with what you guys are doing, and I want to wish you a lot of success as you continue in this labor of love, right?
Thanks, Steve. Thanks. We really appreciate your effort and your staff effort to expose, to sell this product, sell us to the country. So we really appreciate it, and we thank you very much from the bottom of our heart. I thank you on behalf of the students, those that are here at the factory, and especially on behalf of the mayor, Mr. Robert Mariano.
So, from Dangriga, we say, Thanks for choosing love.
Belize and beyond. Thanks for choosing love.
All right. Okay. Belize Watch. Knowledge of the past, impacting the present, building the future.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from.